the people that were making these shows, I remember this is like pre-internet conspiracy theory.
Sure.
The people that are making this show, the reason they call it programming, they're programming America. But then I meet all the people who make these shows, and what they're trying to do is make things that they would watch. It's a natural consequence of that by doing that, you can comfort people with narratives that are really familiar, like the $6 million man always wins.
CNN is not about comforting people. CNN is about getting people worked up.
You're right, but listen to me here.
And the other networks, too. I don't want to single them out here in this regard.
They create this stuff thinking this is what you're supposed to create. I think this is where we're getting confused. We think of it as like all these people that you went to college with and hung out with when you're young, and now they work for CNN, they're evil. That's not what's going on.
That's exactly what's going on. They go to college as normal kids, and then they leave as evil robots who are trying to destroy this country.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If they're a good person in college, what happens? What is going on that sucks someone into a situation? Let's not call it CNN. Let's call it ENN, the Evil News Network.
Sure.
If you go to Evil News Network and you start off as a good person like a Michael Malice, what turns you? What turns you into an evil person?
No. Okay. Good and evil I don't think are useful necessarily in this context. What I'm saying is you go to the university and you are punished if you do not follow the overweening philosophy, and you're rewarded if you are submissive and repetitive and are going to promulgate that philosophy once you leave the university system.
Right.
In the same way that everyone, if you go to McDonald's in California, you go to McDonald's in Massachusetts, you go to McDonald's in Florida, it's going to be the same food. That's not a conspiracy. That's an organization that is spreading forth, in this case, its product, which is burgers. The university system are of one mind in spreading an ideology, and that's why all those college graduates who end up at CNN or end up at MSC, New York Times, or in Hollywood, they're going to have the same worldview, and you're going to have this perception of unanimity. It's not a conspiracy. They're all just trained at the same places to believe certain things, and they were punished severely for not believing those things.
I agree with most of what you're saying, but do you think that there's an overlord? How do you think
No, it's decentralized. It's completely decentralized. What happened is, over 100 years ago, people like Richard Ely, who started the American Economic Association, I talked about this in an old book of mine, Then You Write, basically his idea is we need to introduce the idea of a mixed economy into economics. This whole classical liberal thing isn't working for us. This is like in the 1910s, 1900s. As a result of that, there's an understanding. They talk about the university about creating the next generation of leaders. What that means, it's an Orwellian way of saying we're training people who are going to be the overclass, who are going to rule and manipulate the country for good reasons. And if you're a member of the overclass, you have stature, you have status. It's important for you to be perceived as a good, honest person, but I'm still a good, honest person above the rest of you. And when the rest of you start criticizing me and start being defiant, you're confused because you were trained to think you are in a position to rule over them and lead over them.